Alright, this is a series, very first episode of a series called Copycat. This is where I go out to various restaurants across the cities and I pick something off the menu, then I go back and I try to recreate it. So stay tuned to see what we order off of today's menu. Alright, so what I just ordered is Mahi Tacos. We're going to kind of take notes on this, try to figure out the flavors, and I'll be going back and recreating this. Now, along with the Mahi Tacos, I've also got a smoked tuna dip. I've actually done smoked tuna dip in the past, so we might give that a try too. All right, there are the Mahi Tacos, looking really good. We got our yellowfin smoked tuna dip. Man, this smells incredible. Let's see what Derek's got over here. Royal Reds, excellent stuff. So the food here was absolutely fantastic. TBT, the Blind Tiger. They have one in Waverly, Mississippi as well. This one is here in Biloxi. If you make it down here to Biloxi, please come check them out. Tacos were outstanding. Did a little recon. And what they have there is grilled Mahi Mahi, some of the best fish in the world in my opinion. It was also coated with like a brown butter. It had a Chipotle sour cream, just shredded lettuce, and as a condiment it had a Pico De Gallo that also included black beans and corn, along with the regular like cilantro and jalapeno. Excellent tacos. The smoked tuna tastes very, very, very similar to one I've already made. I'll recreate that as well. We're going shopping. We're going to pick up these ingredients. So what you're looking at is some tuna. This is caught in the Gulf of Mexico. We went on our little shopping spree for all the ingredients, and I bought this at Rouse's. We bought the Mahi Mahi. We got that over at South Coast Seafood in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And of course, all the vegetables and everything we just got at our local grocery store. No big deal there. But what I decided to season this with, I've never tried it, but it smells really good. It's called Fish Bait, and it's made by Swimming in Smoke. And like I said, it has a really good smell, so I'm going to go ahead and just apply this on both sides of this tuna and on all the sides. We're going to pop this on a smoker. I'll be doing this on the Kamado Joe, and I have alder wood. Alder wood is fantastic on fish of any kind. We don't want to dry it out. We want to, keep it somewhat moist, even though it is just going in a dip. This is a Kamado Big Joe. I'm using my deflector plate for indirect cooking. And we are just going to place our tuna right in the center. And we're going to be bringing this up ever so slowly. We're not looking for char or anything like that. It's just to cook this to our desired doneness. And from there, we'll make the dip with it. The tuna steaks are up to about 130 actually, which is good. Like I said, this is for a tuna dip. This is not to be eaten any other way, so it's going to be a little bit more done than what you would normally eat it as a steak. I've diced up some bell pepper. I got red bell pepper and green bell pepper. Into that, I'm adding about 1/4 to 1/3 cup of red onion. And the reason I'm using a processor is because I want a little bit finer chop or mince on these compared to what I can do with a knife for this smoked tuna dip. Just a few pulses. All right, I'm gonna take and bust all this tuna up. This tuna is very moist. Now into the smoked tuna, we're gonna add 16 ounces, which is 2 packages of this cream cheese. This has been softened to make it easier to work with. Now this takes a little bit of work, but you want to incorporate all of this cream cheese into that tuna before anything else. So as you can see, it's a little tough. It's not bad, just it takes a little while. You want to break that tuna down, get it more shredded. You're wanting to incorporate this cream cheese into it. A little bit of elbow grease involved. Now I'm going to put the juice of 2 whole lemons, and I will continue to keep mixing this every time I add something. Alright, so into that I'm going to add some finely minced up celery. It's around 1/4 cup. It's going to provide just a little crunch inside of this dip. Now we're going to go in with our red and our green bell pepper and our red onion. Now we're going to add in around 2 to 3 tablespoons of parsley, fresh parsley. Incorporate all of this into your smoked tuna dip. I'm going to be using the same seasoning I used on the tuna. This is the fish baked by swimming in smoke. I'd say go in with somewhere between a teaspoon and a half. You can always add more later if it needs it. I'm going to finish incorporating all of the ingredients into this. It's really taking on a nice texture. Still got a few big chunks of tuna in here we need to break down. But overall, this is pretty much it. I'm just going to put a cover over this, put it in the refrigerator, let it chill out, let it get cool. All these seasonings and flavors are going to come together. It's going to be some really good eats. One thing I noticed about the Mahi Tacos was the Pico De Gallo that they used. They incorporated black beans and whole corn into that, and I'm pretty sure they used canned. I know none of that was fresh. So we're going to go ahead and put this Pico De Gallo together, and basically all that is just chopping up tomatoes, jalapenos, the juice of a lime, maybe a little bit of zest, red onion. You can also use Spanish onion and cilantro. There was another ingredient on this Mahi Taco that I noticed, and what I have discerned is that it is a Chipotle sour cream. And what I'm going to do is take some actual Chipotles that are canned in an adobo sauce, and we're just going to cut these up, add them to the sour cream, along with extra adobo sauce. This is going to bring the color and the flavor to the sour cream. Also, just a little bit of paprika. This is also mainly for color. Give all this a really good blend, and it needs to go into your refrigerator and just chill out until we're ready for it. Alright, I'm adding in more adobo sauce. The color is not really where I want it. Their color was redder than this. A little bit more of that. A little bit more paprika. Continue to mix. Yeah, it's starting to look about right. Yeah, it's looking really close. This is the Mahi Mahi. This is fresh Mahi Mahi, and I had a hard time locating this. I went to my regular seafood purveyor, and then I called another one I don't care so much. Not so much because of their seafood, but because they're just rude. And so I actually found one that I've never been to before, and I will be back. They keep Mahi Mahi and cobia and things like that all the time. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and cut these into strips, because these are for tacos. I could probably get about 3 out of this one. Get about 3 out of this one. We're just going to give this a liberal amount all the way around this fish. From here we're going to hit the Kamado Joe, the Kamado Big Joe. So now the Mahi Mahi goes onto the grill. These have only been going like a minute, and I've decided I want to coat some butter on all these. Alright, I have been removing these over the last few minutes. I'm letting them get some good color like you see here. and they're almost there. Y'all have probably heard me say many times that speckled trout is like my favorite fish. Well, I'm referring to inshore fish. It really is, but mahi mahi and grouper are by far my two favorite deep sea fish. And this will blow speckled trout away any day of the week. I hate to say that because I love speckled trout so much. But my God, this is some good eats right here. Oh yeah, that one is done. Look at the color on that one. All right, we're just about to wrap this up. All right, so let's do a taste test on this smoked tuna dip. Now, if you notice, this has more color than a tuna dip that I had at the TBT. And I've already had this, I've already made it. It tastes very similar. I think what it is, I got a little bit bigger chunks than what they use. But basically, I think our recipe is very close. I'm using my all-time favorite cracker, which is just a saltine. All right, let's give this a try. All right, the one thing mine has that theirs didn't is that little bit of crunch from the fresh vegetables. Now, they more than likely used the same thing, but they had it really, really fine, possibly even processed in a processor, because I never detected that it was more of a smoother type dip without the crunch in there. I like the crunch, but I like it without too. I'll be honest with you, I don't taste enough difference between these two dips to be able to call out what the difference is. It's very close, very close. So I think I matched that, but I already knew I did because I've made this before. Now let's go ahead and try the Mahi Taco. They laid down some lettuce. And one thing I noticed was like a brown butter on that lettuce. So I took the liberty of making some brown butter. And I really got to thinking about this thing. You could just see that brown butter in that lettuce just like that. All brown butter is unsalted butter that you will simmer in a pan until you begin to brown the milk solids. That's all it is. From there, we're going to lay on some beautiful mahi mahi. It's cooked perfectly, by the way. Still very moist inside. All right, that's enough of that. Now on their taco, they had a layer of this Chipotle sour cream under the fish. I'm actually going to lay it on top of the fish, just like this. All right, and last, this is the Pico De Gallo. This is a copycat of what they did. This is a classic Pico De Gallo with black bean and corn added. There's your taco. Let's try it out. All right, definitely a smaller tortilla, but it's loaded. Look at that. All right, here we go. This is fantastic. I swear to God, this has got to be one of the all-time best fish in the world. Oh my God, these flavors are popping. I hate to say it, and I hope TBT, the Blind Tiger, isn't watching. I blew you away on this, and I promise you. Stay tuned for the next episode of Copycat.